Welcome back to the channel. This video is an update on Bitcoin and the altcoin season, which Bitcoin has started to signal to the rest of the market. So we'll update that on the charts, in particular the total market caps, and of course check out individual cryptos, including an update on the altcoins that I had picked for March. There's a ton of news and headlines around the adoption and development in the cryptocurrency space. And of course, this takes time, especially while prices grind away. So let's take a look at that and what we can expect over the coming months. But first, do that thing that we all hate to hear, like, subscribe, bell notification icon. Let's start. Starting with a quick shill for our newsletter here. We do more than just cryptocurrency. We look at everything from real estate to the stock market, commodities, and of course, cryptocurrency. It's a holistic approach to investing, which is why it's called the Investor Accelerator. It's what I do in my personal life, and it's what my brother Michael also does, who writes the newsletter. So check it out. It's absolutely free. Link is in the top of the video description. And while you're there, check out our sponsors, SwiftX and Bybit. 7 days to go for that Ethereum giveaway. $4,000. 4 lucky people are going to win $1,000 of ETH each. Check out the link in the description. Let's dive in. As always, let's check out the market sentiment. Fear and greed has just come in. It's now at 40. So we've climbed up slowly from extreme fear to fear. Now fear, but we're almost in that neutral territory. If we climb a few more points, and you can see the market has slowly climbed up from that area as well. I'm not saying that this is going to be the final low, at least looking in my own analysis. I think we will still have another low to come maybe next quarter, quarter 2, quarter 3, somewhere around there we might see another low. The point that we want to notice is it going to be a higher low? This is looking at prices, or is it going to be a lower low? Either way, I think 2023, 2024, a couple more years beyond is going to be very, very profitable for many astute investors that are paying attention to the market in 2022, as this has been one of our next best opportunities as the heat has come out of the market. But if you're watching Bitcoin, you probably say, well, the heat's back in the market. But overall, obviously, it's a pretty decent trading range between $35K and about $45,000. So my pre-party is at $42,600. Obviously, we've been looking at this for the last couple of weeks on the channel. Make sure you're on Twitter as well. Link is in the description. I post over there a little more regularly as well to update these. And the next big party for a all-in alt season, wait and see. I want to get too ahead of myself. I'm looking at a price closing or a weekly close above $46,000. Reason being is we've seen the market being rejected twice already, and previous support is in that zone. So if we can get to that point, then I think that brings in a little more positivity to the rest of the market, and they start to feel that it's time to gamble on some other altcoins. The biggest party, I think, out of the lot is if we get a close and consolidation above the 50% level, which is around that $51,000, and those previous highs where it was rejected is around 52. So if we can climb and consolidate above that low 50,000s, I think that's where we're going to see a lot more people coming back. Going to be big headlines. Everyone's going to get super excited again. But we've been following this from the lows, just waiting and watching for these higher lows. Now, this might take several months to play out. Maybe we do get rejected again at 46 and come back. Maybe we get rejected somewhere in the high 40s. But it's just one day at a time at this point. Overall, for the longer term look, I'm still waiting for a little more volume to come in during this period. For the total market cap, the base has formed at this point. Again, we have to take it week by week. This looks like a good, at least medium-term base that's been forming here. The February invasion from Russia into the Ukraine called for that recent low. So that was almost a double bottom there, and the market is trying to move its way from that area. And it's doing so quite nicely at this point. The down range has slowed. The next levels I'm watching are around that $2 trillion market cap. So this is for the total market cap of all cryptocurrencies. As for all the cryptos minus Bitcoin and Ethereum, we do have a breakout. So looking at all the altcoins, calling it your altcoin season or trading in shitcoins, the breakout is on. So the downtrend has stalled. You can see the first blue line here. That's the speed of the market declining. It has stalled since the drop in mid-January. So we've had 2 months of essentially sideways, even though there are a couple of little peaks here. But when you look back now, you can just see that the market, essentially looking at the closes, is basically sideways, and we have slowed the bleed down now that we've broken out. So I think we'll come back and try and test this upper side somewhere around that $800 billion in total market cap. So it's somewhere I would look for resistance in cryptocurrencies to maybe signal or start to signal, doesn't mean it's going to be the exact top, but start to signal the end of intermediate alt season before we get maybe some sort of rejection and then another test again, or further to the downside, or of course the up, down, or sideways straight through to go and test the 50% at around $860 billion. ETH is doing very well this morning. The next level of resistance is at $3,100. So that's my minor level for this market to recover above for short-term consolidation and strength. As I was posting to our members, I was buying ETH at around 2,800 just on that first breakout. That's for the long-term portfolios, which I update on the channel here as well. The next level is 3,500. Now it's another $500 away from where it is, but there is a lot of resistance. There's almost a resistance at every $100 on the way up. That's just the way it works once the market has broken down and there's a whole lot of resistance points. So the easiest way is obviously once the market breaks above the highs to get through into some open space. But at the moment, 3,100, that's my level I'm looking for short-term consolidation, and then 3,500 as well for ETH. For the weekly chart, it's looking good. We did get that breakout similar to what we saw on the total market caps. You can see from that January dump, mid-January, the market was essentially sideways between $25 and $2,800 before we started to get this move away again to test these highs. So the 3,100 comes from this higher swing here. So the high is at 3,045. So a nice round number, 3,100 to get that move above, get rejected, come back and test, and then continuing its way up to those higher numbers. So this is just all forming part of a potential, in my view anyway, an accumulation zone. I would love to see it get rejected and come back, but of course I don't control this market as much as some people would think. Finally, some positive news for ADA holders. The downtrend you can see here has finally broken. The week has not closed yet, and I'll do an update video of Cardano in the next 24 hours, so make sure you subscribe to the channel. You can also stake your ADA with the TIA staking pool. I'll do an update on the rewards in that next video as well. They've been absolutely massive, between 100 and 200% of the regular rewards that you'll receive. So go check out that staking pool. As for ADA, good news on the break. 50% comes in at $1.20. We know ADA loves to move around that $1.20, but it is good to see that ADA has broken the dollar. But more importantly, rather than that psychological level, is the downtrend. This downtrend has lasted for over 6 months. So it's good to see it's finally done that. And it's what we're expecting as well. You can see the higher low form, the market breaks above, and then slows the bleed. So it doesn't mean that we can't get lower prices, but at least it's slowing that bleed down. Solana was not one of my March altcoin picks, and I'm glad it wasn't because it is still being a really slow, laggard cryptocurrency compared to some of the others. So I want to see it break above both of these levels. You've got the micro here, which has had multiple rejections at the moment, and it was also support. Previously, you had the macro up here at about 0.0024. That's going to be where I would love to see Solana break above and consolidate into this zone for a longer term hold, of course, on Sol. Otherwise, Sol will have more downside to come because it has failed to break above the previous support zones. Hopefully it can do it on this run and then again slow the bleed even further. Now for the March picks. Atom was one of those, still waiting on this market to get back above the $33. But the good news is it's put in a solid higher low at this point. You see the market ran up, rejected at $33, which was a 50% level, and then came back to find support at the macro 50, which is around $26. Atom's now gone sideways for the last 5 or so days, so it needs to get some resolution, maybe to the upside, and come back to retest $33. So overall, it's been relatively good for this period of March, but what has been better is NEAR. So the video was on the 3rd of March. NEAR's been much better performing at that point. It found support eventually above 50%, which was at $10.50, and the short term was at around $9.50. So now it's just broken above that today, so that's a good sign, and it's just putting in some more gains. So ideally, consolidation above these levels, and it will be one of the good performers at this point. Luna was the last on that altcoin list, and it's up about $5 from where that video was put out back on the 3rd of March. So it's trending okay. I thought it would have moved a lot harder and a lot faster by this point, But at the end of the day, a consolidation at higher levels with major lows getting higher is probably a good sign for this longer term, especially if we're looking for a nice trade above $100. If Luna breaks down from $75 to $80, then I would consider that this trade has failed, and I'd be looking to absolutely exit any positions I had at that point. Reason being is they are the major swing lows at the moment, so around 75. And then you got that little low one here at about $82 as well. So if it starts to break down from that, I'll probably consider that the smart money is getting out because the prices aren't able to push up any higher. Let's take a look at the news headlines, and it continues on with the adoption, development, saga, narrative throughout 2022. This time, Grayscale Investments creates a smart contract fund for Solana, Avalanche, Polygon, Cardano. In the wake of the SEC ETF rejection, Grayscale is launching an altcoin fund focused on 7 major blockchains. So what are they? Well, it's only for institutional investors, and the rest of us can obviously buy these cryptos on any of our exchanges that we so desire. The cryptos that are in this portfolio, this fund, Cardano, 26%, Solana, Avalanche, Polkadot, and then it's rounded out by Polygon, Algorand, and Stellar Lumen. Ray Dalio's Bridgewater is investing in crypto fund. This is from their sources. So it's the first signal to date. The world's largest hedge fund, $150 billion worth, is taking crypto seriously with its own money. So the world's largest hedge fund, as we just said, currently with $150 billion in assets under management, taking crypto seriously as an asset class aside from founder Ray Dalio's announcement in May of 2021, which was basically near the peak of the market, of a personal investment in Bitcoin. So remember when these announcements are made. Are they at the peaks? Are they talking about it in preparation for a move when the market drops? I'll leave that for you to decide. But remember, this was the announcement from Ray Dalio back in May of 2021. Check out that chart of Bitcoin in May of 2021. This is May right here before the market tanked. So if we get the exact date right, then we might find out whether they're buying it at the low or telling us to buy at the tops, signaling purchasing. Or maybe it's just the media picking up some of their words and telling us what we want to hear at those points in time before the market dumps. That's a thing to note when we're investing. So back to Ray Dalio and what they're doing over there. The size of Bridgewater's investment is minuscule compared to its total assets under management. When reached last month by CoinDesk, a Bridgewater spokesperson said the firm did not currently have any plans to invest in cryptocurrency, despite 4 people saying the hedge fund giant was due to enter the space by mid-2022. So I'm expecting a little bit more of a low later this year. Maybe that's when they'll start to enter a position. We can say Bridgewater continues to actively research crypto, but is not currently planning on investing in crypto. I mean, I'll leave that up to you. I think they are, but they're telling us no until they probably buy. Now for the biggest sporting event in the world, FIFA World Cup is coming to Qatar later this year, later 2022, and Crypto.com becomes the official sponsor of 2022. So in Qatar, it is illegal to trade cryptocurrencies. However, Crypto.com are looking beyond that, because they're looking at obviously partnerships and in the international crowd and how many more eyeballs they can get on the company. Just last month, Crypto.com was on a major Super Bowl sporting commercial, and of course they continue on through F1 this year and plenty of other sponsorships throughout sport. So I'm just seeing that as, again, more signaling towards the adoption and development. FTX acquires Good Luck Games amid gaming push. Basically, we're going through the headlines here to see what else the market is doing. Robinhood's new debit card to offer crypto rewards. So they've moved over and they'll now change it to a new cash card. It will replace Robinhood's existing debit card and offer rewards. The card will let users round up to invest in crypto and other investments. I think this is all leading towards that bigger 18.6-year cycle where you'll see a lot of retail be able to get into all different types of investment products, and unfortunately retail usually gets in at the worst possible times. So we're seeing the development going on at this point. We're seeing trading apps now getting their hand into the financial space, and that is what creates the cycle to get bigger and basically get to a point where it's unsustainable. It's where a ton of credit is created. Everyone is drunk on making gains, and eventually the whole thing comes crashing down. I'm not a doom and gloomer, as you probably know from the channel. I'm looking towards the larger move in the 18.6-year cycle. I'll leave a link to the interview with Phil Anderson at the end of this video, so stick around for that while we track through more adoption and development in the space. Investment app Acorns catches crypto bug and adds Bitcoin exposure. So what they're saying is they're going to allow users to invest up to 5% in Bitcoin via their investment accounts. It's a Galaxy Digital backed company. It implemented the feature as their 4.6 million subscribers expressed interest in cryptocurrency. So again, just planting more seeds for more people to invest small amounts of money into the crypto space, get hooked on those gains, and start to probably put too much more money in at the tops. That tends to be what happens with investing. You sort of do a little bit to get a feel for it. I hear it all the time. And then as retail investors get more confident, they tend to put more money in at the top, which is basically an upside down pyramid, investing too much at the top, too little at the bottom. So when the market turns, then those losses, they escalate far quicker than what the gains from the low have been able to create. Now, if you're not making any gains in cryptocurrency, maybe you have the skills to get into Web3. We've seen Web3 salaries soar to over $750,000 per annum. Now, this can be a mixture of salary, so fiat currency, and tokens, of course. So this is Silo's posting, has a basic salary of 300 grand with the remaining 450 grand coming in the form of tokens. So I'm bringing this up because this is not just for developers. There's a lot of opportunity in the cryptocurrency space, and being 2022, markets are down. I would strongly suggest, if I had to start all over again, I would look into the crypto space and find something that suits me, that I enjoy doing, and just going super hard at it, because I see the space as growing at least over the next 3 to 5 years. If all this thing comes crashing down at the end of the cycle and crypto's no more, at least in that period, you've made some pretty good income for those years, probably more than what's in regular average salaries around the world. So that's the way I would look at it while I'm bringing this up at the end, because some people are doing it tough and others want to change their life situation. So if you are loving cryptocurrency, go and find those jobs or anything in the space that you can do that improves someone else's situation, and the money is there at the moment. Now, these opportunities in new developing markets don't last forever, so get off your ass, do what you need to do in 2022, whether that's investing, finding a new job, anything. There is just so much potential in the market this year, especially when other people are still fearful of what's going on. I'll leave you there with that positive note. I'll see you guys at the next video. Check out the links to Bybit for the $4,000 Ethereum giveaway. Link is in the description. And of course, our other sponsors there, SwiftX, iTrust Capital, and our free newsletter. Like and subscribe. See you guys at the next video. Until then, have more fun to get more done.